Hello guys, welcome back to today's video of SAP Process Control. So if you want to learn SAP Process Control, which is another marketed module of SAP, which is another high demand module of SAP, so do check out the SAP Process Control series where we have briefed through what is SAP Process Control basically in the first class, and in the second class we have now gone through I have gone through basis process control, data requirements, how you will gather the data from customer if you are a consultant or if you want to learn SAP process control, etc. So all that stuff, if you have not gone through, if you have not checked it out, do check out now. We have already updated those videos, we have already published those videos, so please do check out. And if you are liking our videos, if you are thinking that we're putting good effort, or if you think that we are putting good effort to share our knowledges, please do like, subscribe, share, and let me know if you have any queries, any comments. Drop me a note to our inbox. See you. Thank you.
Hello guys, welcome back to today's day 2 of video of SAP PC, which is process control. I hope you guys have gone through the day 1 where we briefly talked about the elements of SAP PC, the whole details about how, how it looks like, the basic definitions, etc., the basic architecture. And yeah, we'll in today's day 2 we will talk about the bit of login procedure. And let's start with the login procedure first. Okay, and remember that to today's video as well, we will be bit of theory we'll be covering about, and once you are thorough with the theories of day 1 and day 2, we will be proceeding with the practical controls. So don't worry, keep practicing, have patience. Okay, just joking. So SAP PC login procedure. So what is a login procedure? Login procedure is how you will be logging into the process control, right? Now, how we will log in into process control? There are several ways to log into process control. Like if you are login as an admin, so you can use GUI, SAP GUI, or NWBC URL. Nowadays, NWBC URL is getting obsolete. People are SAP is pushing through to login via Fiori. So yeah, this is going to be obsolete, which I think. And for the business users, they will be accessing the process control via Fiori or any custom portal. So after the login procedure, you remember in day 1 we talked about the first thing in process control, which is important, is the master data. Master data is actually the core of process control. If you are well organized with your master data requirement, then the process control implementation is pretty easy and it will be stable after. Otherwise, it will get screwed up. So master data, these are the several master data requirements. Like first is the organization. How is the organizational hierarchy going to be look like? What is the process of process? What type of control you want to implement? And with respect to like which country, org, which control, etc. And within that, it aligns with what process or sub process. Within that control, what is the regulation? We'll talk about going forward. What is the regulation? There are different type of regulations and FDA, which is food. So there are also drugs. FDA is drugs, and the GDPR, those regulations. So basically, regulations define what type of control it is. It can be FDA control, it can be GDPR control, etc. Similar, and each regulation is associated with its policy and the objectives of a control, like what you are going to achieve with the control. You want to you like each control will have certain threshold limit, type of control, etc. And the objective, like this control will certify this regulation is intact or not within the organization, or this policy is intact or not within the organization. Transactional data, like from where we will get all those data to execute this control. Data source, business rule parameter we'll discuss about in the future down the line. Okay, so I hope you are good with master data and transactional data. Now, key difference, this is a very important interview question. Key difference between access control and process control. What is the key difference? The key difference is time frame. The access control is where we talk about day one. If you have gone through, please go back. GRC access control is time independent. There is no time constrained data in access control. However, the process control is time constrained. For example, if the process control starts with organization. So if you have set up the organization, like today I'm setting up the org and I am saying that it will be the org is valid from yesterday till infinite days. So all the data that will be coming to process control for process is only from yesterday till the infinite, but the day before yesterday data is gone. It will never be processed. It will never be considered in process control. So time frame is very much important in process control. However, in AC it is not. Okay, now in AC, all those firefighter owner, controller, rule set, risk, etc., those are time independent. They are valid for all the time. However, in PC, it is not. It will be valid for only to specific time that you have given. For example, here you see the org. Let's say we are setting up org as for EU control. Okay, Europe controls, and we are giving this started and ended as this. That means this is the time frame of all objects in PC. So system can be compliant only after this date or within this date. Okay, all the past records cannot be used for PC for the compliance purpose. But however, if it would have been AC, the scenario would be different. Okay, similarly for the US control. Now for each different org, we can take different time zones and they will be independent. Their controls will be independent. Okay, so here the start date end date is different. Here the start date end date is different. So within this time zone, this control is applicable. After this time zone, this control will be gone. However, this control will be still intact. Okay, I hope you are getting the point what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, however, now the next point that we will be talking is how to create a master data in PC. Okay, the master data that we spoke through, these are the master data requirements, the basic needs, the initial bricks, initial blocks of PC. How to set up a master data? There are the different methods like MDUG method. We will see how MDUG is used to create all those master data. CLM is basically a different tool altogether, and you need content lifecycle consultant to install the system and manage all those master data, or else manual creation. This is like after go live, if there are small amount of data to be processed or very few controls to be created, this is the method usually we will use. Otherwise, initial implementation, everyone will use MDUG, which is mass way of creation. Okay, the master data. Now, next is that how to create a org structure. Here you see, first is the master data. The first requirement is org structure. We saw how all this thing will be created manual, mass way, or via content lifecycle manager. Largely, we will be talking about MDUG and manual. This one we will not be talking about. Okay, so the how to create org structure is basically you can create it via SPRO in GRC, or you can go to NWPC. So SPRO first, which will create the root org. After the root org, you will create the sub organization, which can be child organization, which can be created by NWPC. But the first root org has to be created within SPRO. I'll tell you when we will do the practical stuff. So for example, root org is global. So under global, let's say I need organization structure as like all the India controls belong to Bangalore, it will be a different control, Chennai, or let's say all this controls will be tagged to India, and Europe control, all these controls of England and France will be tagged to Europe, or China controls will be tagged to China, and all these controls will be tagged to Asia, and this England, US, Africa will be tagged to you, and everything belong to global. That's how you divide the organizational structure. And basically here we are dividing based on country wise. If your requirement is not based on country wise, then you have to think through what is the requirement. Some people do it via control specific, not the country specific, and some clients requirement is to do via country specific control. It varies from customer to customer. So above, the compliance can be achieved with respect to country or region. The controls can be set up based on country and region, what that I have already briefed through. However, we cannot achieve the compliance based on global system wise. So if there is any system which is, for example, your S4 system is global system, it caters to all the countries across the world, then this is not a good approach. However, this will be a good approach for that. If S4 system is global, caters to all the countries, and there is only one global org. So global org will be like this, then center of excellence, and there will be one group created with all the systems, and however, your compliance will be applicable to group one. So if group one is fine, then your COE is satisfied. If COE have multiple groups, then after those group 1, group 2, group 3 is compliant, COE will be compliant, then ultimately global org will become compliant as well. So this is for those customers whose system is based on global. There is not much hierarchical divisions like this. If there are hierarchical divisions, then the org structures need to be created like this. So otherwise this. Now the point that I was telling is the org structure design is based on client reporting or the compliance need, or how the earlier structures were with the customer if you are doing the consulting stuff. So there is no thumb rule that any org structure need to be followed. The structure requirement can be of different scale, definitely can be of different need. Now, how to create a org structure? See, like I said, with SPRO, the root org will be created, and this is the path. This will create the root org and child org, first one. Then after that, everything will be created by NWBC, the root org, child org. Then after that, all those global org structures will be created by NWBC. You don't have to do SPRO. This is one-time activity. However, this one will be a repetitive activity. Okay. Now we talked about the org structure. Then we will be talking about next master data requirement is regulation. Now, what is a regulation? A regulation is nothing but a group of controls in SAP. That is, either it can be a SOX control, which can be grouped to called as COVID, or it can be something like GDPR control, which can be grouped to something else. For example, SOX control has different guidelines that will be grouped together with SOX. GDPR has different guidelines that will be grouped together with GDPR. Similarly, FDA has different guidelines. Basically, SOX is for Surveillance and Auxiliary Act. So that you can, if you don't know, let me know. I will brief you through. Otherwise, you can Google it. It is basically how you will distinguish between a critical activity and a non-critical activity, how a conflicting access, how a conflicting execution can be avoided within an organization. That is defined within SOX. Similarly, GDPR is basically European data requirement control, how your data is preserved, personal data, financial data, etc., addresses, etc. Similarly, FDA is, I think this is a Indian control, India control for finance. Okay, and remember, each control has its own guidelines which will be associated with the control, and control will be associated with the regulation. Regulations are nothing but the groups. Okay, by default, this is another interview question. By default, SAP provides SOX FDA regulation with its BC set. BC set is nothing but an initial set of master data, a bundle together, which we need to activate it via SCPR20, where it will automatically give all these guidelines. However, for example, India control, it will not come up with BC set. We have to create it via MDUC as a mask. Okay, this is another interview question. So guys, do like, share, comment bhi kar dena yaar. I'm sharing the course as well as the interview questions and answers as well. So please appreciate our efforts. Okay, so how you will activate the BC set, that we have discussed by SCPR20. So each type of control fall under specific regulation and hence assigned to regulation group that I have already briefed through. Once the regulation group is signed off, that means everything is signed off within this, and auditors will say everything is done, signed off. Okay, now next master data we'll be talking about is business process. What is a business process? A business process is like basically dividing all the processes inside a business and grouping it together. For example, in a real-time business environment, what all processes will we have? Will we have RTR? Will we have the we'll have O2C? We will have uh, finance related, etc. stuff. So there are 7 to 8 business processes normally associated within an organization. So basically, we'll be grouping all that. That is called business process. So each control will be created as per below sequence, like business process, sub business process, control. Okay, and controls will be associated with this regulation, etc. And controls are associated with sub business process, and sub business process will be associated with business process. Okay, for example, okay, let's go. Actually, this is the 3-pillar architecture of SAP PC, which you need to remember throughout the lifetime if you are a SAP PC consultant, because this is how we will set up the master data and this is how it is done. So root org we have already discussed, root org, child org, and the global org structure. Initially, how we need to set it up and how we created SPRO and WBC. This root org, all the processes, sub-processes, and control. So control basically associated with sub-process. Sub-process is part of the process. Okay, that is mapped to or tagged to under a org. Either it can be global, for example, grouping or country specific. So we'll create the child orgs based on our need, and all the business process, sub process, control are associated with your org structure, the child org. What is associated with the control and sub process? Basically regulations and its requirements, its guidelines, etc. So regulation requirement, which is created by NWBC, guidelines at like how you will execute the attached the regulation. What is the regulation guideline? What is it, the government's updated regulations, so that we will keep on updating here. That is basically associated with a regulation that we talked, which is SOX or GDPR or FDA or COSO, etc. And that regulation associated with regulation group. And basically the regulation group is assigned to control ultimately assigned to process ultimately assigned to org structure. So this is the master data structure you need to remember, and this is how we will be creating all our master data in process control going forward. So please do memorize this within your mind if you are not able to understand the process. I think you will be able to understand. So you need to go through my videos regularly and also put up your comments in the comment section if you are having any doubt or queries or etc. Or please do like, subscribe and share bhi kar dena yaar, for all our efforts, for all those. So for all our efforts and the immense amount of work that we do behind recording this scheme, to appreciate that, please do like, subscribe and share. And any doubts, let me know. This is your master data structure in PC. So in day 3, we'll be taking more of practical thing, going into the system. We'll be knowing how things are executed in process control. Okay. Till then, see you in the next class, day 3 class. Till then, thank you.